right, we have Dr. Kelley Gebhardt with us for one more segment about the best way to take care of your pets. This person's asking, are eye drops safe for my dog?
So I'm not really sure exactly what that question means. Veterinary prescribed eye drops for the appropriate situation are totally safe. If you have a corneal ulcer or corneal scratch, you don't use steroids. So making sure that you have the right drops is important. So you don't want to just use random drops from previous eye issues because it may not be appropriate for the current eye issue. Certainly you don't want to use human eye drops in a pet because it may not be safe at all. It may not be the right medication. And if a pet actually chews into a bottle of some human eye drops, it can actually cause massive toxicities and adverse events. So there's so many layers to that conversation. With that question, I'm not really quite sure how to answer it, but veterinary approved eye drops for a certain ophthalmic problem are safe and appropriate.
Okay, but don't be putting any like other eye drops in there. All right.
Don't be self-medicating.
If my poodle has skin allergies, how should I treat that?
I would say first things first, check with your vet to help determine what is it. Is it fleas? Is it food? Is it environmental? And then maybe even if it's really persistent, talking with a veterinary dermatologist. But the first thing is talk with your vet, get an exam, and start the process because it's kind of a lengthy process of figuring that out.
Okay. Do dogs ever outgrow the zoomies?
No, maybe they live their best life until they are too old to zoomie. I don't even know, but I don't want to outgrow my zoomies. So unless they're too painful to zoomie, probably not.
Well, this kind of like follows that. This person's asking, how can I make sure that my older dog still gets enough exercise?
Making sure to take them on daily walks, I think, are really important, multiple times a day. They don't even have to be long, but just the more you move, the more your body can move. And massaging is really important, and even swimming. So non-weight bearing activities really important, which if you can get them swimming, whether it's in a doggy daycare or a lake or a pool, anything like that. But movement's really important. They maintain muscle strength, which helps them move and support their old arthritic joints. So the longer we maintain our strength, our muscle, our mobility, the healthier and happier they're going to be, the more mobile they're going to be, the more comfortable they're going to be.
Yeah.
So even just walks, even if it's the slowest turtle pace down to the stop sign and back, it's better than nothing.
That's right. I mean, we know how we feel when we've sat too long, right? And, you know, it's hard for us to get up, so they have the same thing. All right, 100%. When should I worry about my pet not eating?
I think that's very variable. I think it's circumstantial. Some pets don't eat when their parents are gone. They might not eat if they're being boarded. They might not eat if they're staying at a friend's house. But if you know your pet is a really good eater standardly and they skip 1 or 2 or 3 meals, you know, that might be a concern. So I think it's very pet individual and circumstantial, right? If you feel like your pet, oh, my pet chewed up a toy 2 days ago and they haven't eaten today or for 2 days, that's a concern to me. If your pet doesn't really like to eat that much and you're out of town and they haven't eaten for 2 days, I'm not that worried about it. So there's so many circumstances to consider.
Yeah, okay. This person's saying, how can I help my cat adjust if we're planning to get a second cat? See, that only child cat doesn't know what's coming.
That's right. Oh, Lord. I don't know if you can do anything to prepare as much as it is what to do when the cat arrives, right? Keeping them separated for about 2 weeks so they can just, you know, each in a different room, they can smell each other, but they're not introduced. Then maybe keep them separated so they can see each other, but they're not up in each other's business, give them their personal space. So it's how to introduce them more so than how to prepare the existing cat for the incoming cat. I don't think there's any preparation for that, but talking to your vet about how to properly introduce them is going to be the next best option.
Gotcha. Okay, so this one's a tough one for me. The leaving home and then the returning home, because you've told me that it's my behavior that needs to change so that my dog's behavior will change. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, 100%. It's so hard because when we come home, like, I love my doggy therapy. I love when I come home and cuddle with my dogs and I see them, I want to kiss them and I want to love them. But when I come home and immediately, you know, love on them, it actually amps up their anxiety and their separation anxiety. So I do my darndest to keep them calm when I leave. I ignore them when I leave and I ignore them when I come home because it helps them actually be calmer when I'm gone and it helps them through the transition. Transitions are hard for everybody, for for adults and kids and pets. And so those transition times of departure and arrival, by you kind of letting them, like kind of ignoring them, which sucks, but it's what we have to do. We ignore them, we let them calm down. Then when my dogs are calm and on their dog beds, I go in and give them love at that time. And that helps them adjust better to departure and return.
Okay, that's going to be tough for us humans to train ourselves. Well, we thank you for all of the back to school for our pets recommendations. If you missed any of this, this is going to be in the Two Wants to Know section of our website.